name is Ruckus. Thanks for joining. Please like, subscribe, and share. 10-8. Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm having a little problem with my camera here. Let me see if I can work this out. If not, you don't get to see my ugly mug. And it's not acting right, so of course not. It was acting fine earlier. But let's see here. Let's see what we got going. Nana72, how are you, my dear? Let's see here. Let me try and get this stuff worked out. What a hot mess. Everything was fine earlier. 63 clocks. Hello. Boston Christian. Growing crazy. It's good to see you guys. It's good to see you guys look that up. I do what I want, even in Irish Gaelic. Or Scottish Gaelic. They're both basically the same. Hybrid, how are you, dear? SP74, what's going on? Jill Moser. This is weird without being on camera. I feel like I'm up to something. Growing crazy. BGOG. What's going on? All right, let me see if I can catch. So we've got Nurseykin 76. And if I miss anything in chat, just put something in there. It tells me to stop being an idiot and look at it. Rescue all the dogs. How are you, sweetheart? Angela Van Oven, welcome in. Gail Hurd, how are you? Yes, the hearing is tomorrow. I can't wait for it. Frank Meister, what's going on, brother? You know what? I can make this a little bit bigger now since my camera's not working. I can do something with this now. And I can't believe this. I've got nice stuff too. It's not like it's just some cheap garbage. But what are you going to do? Press on. That's what you do. Press on. May the dreams you hold dearest be those which come true, and the kindness you spread keep returning to you. Libby and Abby are still with us. Hold our hands, girls. Absolutely. That's nice. Olivia, good evening. Now, can you guys hear me? I didn't even ask you that since you can't. It looks like it's working on my end, but who knows? Hi, Kathy. How are you? Miss Persevere. She just switched. Somehow she switched pictures. She's got it like that. It's good to see all the Irish stuff. CJK. Hello. Night Shadow. Hello. How are you? Yes, please hit that like button. Please. If you're a lurker, at least hit the like button. I don't mind lurk. I lurk a lot. Lakeside Justice. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you. Well, good to see your name on here. Crime to Sleep. Kishti, how are you, sir? Cryptex, my man, what's going on? Miranda Lee says, hello, Troll Farm. Miranda, I'm glad you're feeling better, hon. All right, let's see. I'm digging all these four-leaf clovers. Bud Bundy. How are you, brother? Trash Media Group. Jinx. How are you, dear? Bossy, haven't seen you for a while. Good to see you in here. This isn't going to be a real long one tonight. Sees through, how are you? Diddums, what's shaking? Connie Hill, good to see you too. Humanimal, My Irish side of family are from County Roscommon. Mine are from Westmeath, County Westmeath. It's South Central ish. Charles Galdwin, what's up, Chuck? DP, how are you? Shane, happy St. Patrick's Day. The Red Queen, happy St. Patrick's Day. It's the best day of the year. Mary Margaret, happy St. Patrick's Day. Maureen McMahon, Solar Chef Steph. Maureen, welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in, Solar Chef. It's good to see all you guys. Captain Howdy, how you doing, sir? I liked your last video, brother. Florida loves Delphi. Yes, they do. And Captain Howdy, it's good to see you spreading out into other things as well. This case has been beat down, I'm telling you. Junior Johnson. You know, I don't even really talk about the case anymore because there's really nothing going on with the case. It's just all this lawyer bullshit that drives me nuts. Mustang 1965, hello. And any of you guys that are modding, please put the links to Cryptex and Captain Howdy. And hey, Kyra, how are you? Just try and get all these, anybody that comes in. And if you have any favorite channels, throw their links in here. They don't have to be in here. Hi, Tom. Happy St. Patrick's Day to you, too. Donna Rubino. All right, I got to catch up with chat. All right, you guys hear me okay? Let me just catch up here and say hi to the people I haven't said hi yet. Gladys Kravitz, hello. Coach Kev, what's going on, my brother? I think Coach is on one of his 48 on, 48 off. Robin B, how are you? CCD, what's up? What's up, David? Good to see you. Lone Pony, what's shaking? Shannon Young, Green Hot's me. I got a green hot from Shannon. She knows how to do it. David Shat. Good reception, Ruckus. Okay, thank you. Alrighty. Got a few things to go over, and it has to do with this hearing tomorrow. Deb's True Crime Notebook. Jesus. Notebook. First day of my new lips, Deb. Sorry about that. All right. Let me see if there's anybody else. Truth and Justice, how are you? I haven't seen you for a while. It's good to see you. See if I missed anybody. I'm trying to get to down to the bottom of this. Humanimal says, I'm walking, not reading the chat, but hello to all. Happy St. Patrick's Day to all the Irish. And please throw her link in as well. Donna Rubino, I said hello to her. Delphi Dummies, what's going on? Happy St. Patrick's Day. You're creating a lot of trouble. I think it's funny. I think that the shit that Noe's doing is funny as well. But it'll slow down. It'll all slow down. Navalis, what's up, my brother? Happy St. Patrick's Day to everyone. Good to see so many familiar names in this chat. Yeah, there's some good folks. They get around. I see them in a lot of chats. They get around. But thanks for coming by. I appreciate it. This will do nicely. How are you? I'm almost caught up here. Then we can get rolling. And I'm going to do some stuff on the fly here. Brian Emery, hello. Good to see you. Yeah, I wish Larry Bird was a guest. He's a hoot, man. A hoot and a half. All right, I'm caught up. I got everybody. I said hello to everybody. Let's get going with what I want to talk about. Now, I'm going to primarily, I'm going to focus on the hearings, right? And please, if you would, please, before you get shot by this guy, like, subscribe, share, hit the notification button. Oh, Kelt, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to skip you. That's what I mean. Don't be butthurt. That's what I mean by if I miss you, because I get scrolling quick. Imitation Crab, that's a great name. Locksmith Jeremy. Brother, what's going on? Hope all is well with you. All right, this hearing tomorrow. Frank Meister is doing a live on his channel tomorrow. We're going to start at 7 because he's got to get there. Rescue All Dogs is picking him up, and I think they're picking up Thomas Frost along the way as well. But we're going to start at 7, which is fine. I don't think the hearing starts until like 8:30 or 9 or something like that. I should know, but I don't, because I hate this shit. I hate all of this lawyer bullshit. It's like high school shit. But some people that haven't been involved with this kind of stuff have involved themselves, and they're going to find out what it's like to be cross-examined. I've been deposed. I've been direct examined, cross-examined on the witness stand. It's not fun. It's not fun. And everything, they're going to do and say anything to discredit what you say. So remember that what's online is online forever. So you can expect some of that if you people actually have to testify. But on that note, let's get started with this stuff, and I can make this stuff a little bit bigger now. Just gotta unlock everything. Okay. So this right here, right? This is one of the defense filings, one of their many. Hello, Margot. One of their many. Oh, Marge. I'm sorry. I thought that said Margot. I'm sorry, Marge. Hi, Marge. But they keep saying they believe things exist, right? Now, to me, everything that they've put out, this kind of stuff that Hennessy's doing, he's just feeding the media shit to say, is all he's doing. Because there's nothing going on with the actual case. Nothing has really changed with the case. All this litigation going back and forth is just about contempt and a dick measuring contest and all that, you know. And they keep saying things like, you know, we believe that it exists. You know, in a certified letter, you know, requested if said evidence exists, and if so, determine. You know, so they just want the judge to tell the prosecutor to say, yes, we have that evidence, or no, we don't have that evidence. They want to know one way or the other, and of course they want the evidence if they do have it. All right, young man. Cecil Hotel, how are you? So that's basically what they're doing, okay? And I'm going to try and watch chat along the way here. But that's basically what they're doing. That's, to me, that's aggravating is all get out, right? So let's bring up this. And this is another thing, right? Now, we all did, this made me laugh out loud. I didn't just LOL this, right? I actually laughed out loud when I saw this. Over the course of this case, the defense has learned of certain evidence referenced in other discovery documents or mentioned from other sources or from existing common sense, right? I can't believe they put those two words in there. That has caused it, the defense, to believe, here we go again, that evidence does exist, right? So they're saying that certain evidence referenced in other discovered documents. Okay, well, what are those? You should be able to be specific with those. They're specific about a lot of things, right? Or mentioned from other sources, right? We all know who those other sources more than likely are. So when I see shit like this, it cracks me up. It makes me actually laugh out loud. It's crazy for them to even use that kind of verbiage. To me, is crazy, right? And we've already seen that one. Okay, witnesses. This is what I was just talking about, right? These witnesses, these are people that have been involved with the case. And I want you to notice something. They listed these witnesses by name, okay? Stephen Woods, Angela Sadlowski, Julie Melvin, Terry Williams, and we'll get to her in a second, Courtney Parsons, and Matt Hoffman. Now, they've all been very active with the defense. Whether that's good or bad is here nor there. It doesn't matter. Excuse me. But these folks are going to learn if they actually get called to testify. Now, I don't know if they've been deposed, maybe on the phone or whatever, but some of these people, most of them, I think, actually outside of maybe Julie and I don't know where Terry lives, or Matt for that matter, but they live out of the state. But if you notice, they just use their names. They put their names, and that's it. That's the only description they use of them, right? So we take that down. And then Richard Snay, they got him on there as well. And just his name, right? No other descriptive. And then you get to this one. You look at how many times they've used people's names on here, right? You've got Tyler Carpenter. You've got Endenfeld, Miss Endenfeld, Paul Mannion, Robert Fortson, Mark Robert Cohen, Kay Smith, all of that. Well, then you got this George Rye character, but they misspell my name, which I really don't care. They may have done it on purpose because they think I'm a dick. Who cares? I don't care about all of that. But George Rye, a former law enforcement officer. Now, why are they singling that out? Right? Why are they doing that? If we go back to this, you don't see Stephen Wood, former sports writer, now sells lighting equipment. Angela Sedlowski, she's a counselor. Julie Melvin, RN. Terry Williams, I don't know what she does. Courtney Parsons works for a dog food company. Matt Hoffman, private investigator. No, they don't do any of that. So why are they harping on the fact that I'm a retired law enforcement officer? Why add that? And they didn't say Tyler Carpenter, HVAC company owner, or anything like that, right? They don't say Paul Mannion, CNA, or whatever he is. Robert Fortson, Air Force. Mark Cohen, tattoo artist. They don't say any of that. But when they get to me, it's a former law enforcement officer, which I think is stupid, right? I have no clout. We all know that. I've said that a million times. Law enforcement doesn't even know who I am. They may have seen my name in this, but they know that I'm a nobody, right? So it's just little stupid shit that they do. That's how they operate. All right, so let's go to. They've been crying about discovery, right? And I'm talking about the defense. We have to ask specifically for each little piece of evidence, yada, yada, yada. And they didn't give it up until they knew, like that Todd Click. They didn't give that up until we knew. The prosecution knew that we were going to call him as a witness. So they're bitching about that, right? Well, now look what they do. The prosecution asked for his medical records, and they knew that they wanted them, right? But they're playing the same fuck game. They're all doing it. They're attorneys. That's what they do. They were in debate club in high school because they like to argue. They'll argue about fucking anything. But this stuff here just gives them a hard on. They love this shit. But what do? They turn over this discovery with his medical records. Now, this says Richard Allen medical records, part 1 and part 2. Doesn't say anything about mental health. I don't know if they separate those in Indiana at the state level. They may not. So more may come of that, right? Now, Also, they're talking about, let me go to this one first. The very last discovery, let me make this a little bit bigger. The very last discovery item the defense received before the prosecutor requested that the defense be kicked off the case, not removed from the case, not resigned from the case, no, kicked off the case, was geofencing evidence that the defense believes was received on October 6, 2023. So this geofencing evidence was received nearly 10 months after the state, yada, 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 yada. In this late discovery, the defense found a map prepared by someone, presumably law enforcement, that appears to track the movements of these people in and out of the crime scene the afternoon of December 13th, right? So they're not even sure of what it is. They're calling it geofencing. I've seen attorneys do that before. They get things confused, right? But then they go back to, if you look in the purple box here, right? And all they're doing is pissing and moaning up here in the red box. Again, the defense has located no information or interviews contained in any investigative documents about the phone numbers that they apparently located on this geofencing, quote unquote. So in this purple box, while it is possible that the geofencing is not what it appears to be, or perhaps was later debunked in some document that has not been turned over to the defense has found no documentation that dispels that the geofencing appears to be highly exculpatory in nature, right? They're just planting words. Again, word salad. That's what they do. Now, cell dump. Okay, a cell dump is usually done by triangulation, right? And there's a large number of people. So there's a little diagram here of, cellular person A talking to cellular person B, how it hits the towers and all of that. Now, law enforcement can get some information off of that, but it is a huge file when they get that. It's a huge file to go through, and it takes a long time. All right, I'm just checking on chat real quick. I don't want to get way far behind. But this will tell anybody and everybody that's been in that area. Okay, now it's a little bit broader. It's not as accurate, but it's a useful tool for law enforcement. Now, it still requires a subpoena, right? And you have to go through the cell companies to get this information. But there's tons of towers. There's a tower right across the street from my house, and I get shitty reception. I have to put a repeater. So just because this tower is close doesn't mean that you're using the right network to use those towers, okay? But they can gather information. So a tower dump, a cell dump is when they take your phone and they dump all the information off of it. Oops, I just saw somebody sneak by here. Grizz. What's up, brother? How you doing, my friend? But a cell dump is when they take your phone and they dump all the information off of your phone. A cell tower dump is when they collect information for a specific area, but it's not very accurate at all, but for a specific area during a specific time. Okay, so it's a lot different. We don't call this geofencing. This is a cell dump, and it's a administrative subpoena only. Don't need a judge to sign off on a cell dump. A captain or above can sign off on it. Okay, geofence. Okay, what is a geofence warrant? That's a formal request from law enforcement to a provider, usually Google, there's some others now, to provide the location history data of every device within a defined geographic region and within a specific time frame. Now, everybody's phone has a little device that's built into it. It's called Beacon. And when you walk around the stores and stuff like that, they know, they're alerted, and you'll get information about that store, that location, or what have you. That's a little bit different. That's a little bit different. It uses GPS, but not in the same way. That's actually a piece of hardware in your phone called Beacon. And if any of you guys look up your phone, especially I'm an iPhone guy, so I only know with iPhones, but you'll see that the Beacon or something similar to that is installed on your phone. It's a piece of hardware. So this here takes a judge. A judge has to sign off on this, okay? Because you're infringing on people's rights at this point. You're skating around the Fourth Amendment here. There was a case, and I won't go too long into this. There was a case where DEA knew this guy was trafficking drugs from Mexico to the United States. Well, he had a friend or a family member or whatever, another guy with him in the cab of the truck. They located him through GPS, okay, and they arrested him and his passenger. His passenger got off because he was never in the initial target, and inside the cab of that truck, he had a reasonable expectation of privacy. So law enforcement invaded that privacy. So his case got tossed out. Whether he was involved with it, I don't remember. But his case got tossed out. Now, often law enforcement will use geofencing and cell site location data in tandem. Just wanted to explain that to you guys. Okay, the defense recently filed its motion for early trial for several reasons, right? And see if you guys pick up on this, including concerns for their client's safety and mental and physical health. So guess what opened the door for the prosecution to put in to get those medical records? That statement right there. They're so worried about covering their own ass, they forgot to leave the word mental out. If they didn't put the word mental in there, then the prosecution wouldn't have been able to file for those records again. The biggest concern is that the defense has concerning the early trial request is the prosecution's continued violation of the discovery rules. Now, we all know they put in for a speedy trial, 70 days, right? What do we got? 60 days left, 59 days, whatever. They're not ready. They keep bitching that they don't have time to go out through this information. But now they want a speedy trial, right? So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. It's going to be real interesting. Like I said, this is all lawyer gibberish. And also people are complaining that, they can't just get his mental health records. Yeah, they can. HIPAA is there so that people can't get access to your medical records. In other words, I can't find out what my neighbor's medical records are and stuff like that. If law enforcement has a subpoena for those records, HIPAA is out the window. HIPAA does not matter at all. And here's another good one, right? Pretrial detention or remanding or whatever they're calling it, right? Preventative detention is when someone is detained by the state while they're waiting for trial to determine whether they are innocent or guilty of a crime. Pretrial detention restricts the right to the presumption of innocence and the right to liberty. So that goes without saying. These attorneys know that. They already know that. They're playing on people's feelings, and this comes straight from an inmate written law book that they use in the prisons, right? Because they use inmate attorneys, right? Now, if you look at the last sentence here, okay, in many instances, the conditions at jails where pretrial detainees are often held are substantially worse than the conditions in state prisons. This is coming from an inmate who happened to be an attorney. The law library is alive and well. And here's another one too. And this is for all the activists out there. More than 400,000 people in the United States are currently being detained in pretrial. 400,000. A lot of the people that are protesting this stuff are from out of the state. I'm sure that some of those 400,000 people live in your state. Go and protest at your state house. You know, all eyes are on every state, on every city, not just Delphi. You know, don't just focus on this one because it's a big case. You know, take care of the people that live in your own state. You know, if you got the warm fuzzies for those folks. And here's another thing that just cracked me up. You know how you get these things on your phone when you're looking at something, you get these ads. Well, I have Kohler. Kohler is a company that makes you know, faucets and plumbing stuff and the such, right? Well, these fuckers are trying to sell me runes. Look at this. What kind of bullshit is this? That's an F rune if I ever seen one. You know, what kind of bullshit is that? That's fucked up. I saw that today and I actually laughed out loud. All right, now some of these, because I was jacking around with my camera, so I'm going to add some of these on the fly. And let's see how well I can do this. Because I'm not too smart. I think you people already know that. But I think I got my point across. Them saying that I'm a law enforcement officer, but they don't talk about anybody else's profession. The fuck is that, right? And here's one. On or about February 29th and March 1, yada, 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 the defense received an anonymous call from a woman in Texas claiming to have approximately 240 pages of leaked documents and agreed to provide them. Now, I wonder if she did. That. I have a pretty good idea who it is, but I'm not getting into it with these people. I really don't care about this, you know. But then the defense also discovered information from the prof claiming that he had delivered 2 pounds of documents to the Indiana Attorney General. So he's claiming that he delivered these documents to the Attorney General. And now I guess the defense wants those records. I'm not sure. I hope he produces them. But all of this, people that are writing in to the case and all that, that's just on this contempt bullshit. I can't see any of it popping up during the trial. As you all know, I don't think this is going to make it to trial. I still don't. I can't see it happening in 60 days, that's for sure. But I don't see it. And people who question PC, right? How is probable cause established? Probable cause exists when a police officer knows of facts or circumstances that would lead a reasonable person, so that takes half of the people out, to believe a crime has been or is going to be committed. That reasonable catches me up all the time. Even when I was active duty law enforcement, we used to laugh at that term because we don't deal with a lot of reasonable people at all. I'm not judging anybody. I'm just judging. Some people are so judgmental. I can tell just by looking at them. All right, now you have reasonable people. Let me see. That's for probable cause, right? Well, then you have reasonable suspicion. Yeah, see. Comes out too big. This is what happens when you're doing shit on the fly. Reasonable suspicion and probable cause, are they the same? No. Reasonable suspicion is a lower threshold required for temporary detention, such as a traffic stop or the detention of a building's occupants, while officers execute a search warrant. In these situations, reasonable suspicion means officers are aware of specific facts that would lead a reasonable person to believe criminal activity is taking place. There's that word reasonable again. And I hope that this, you guys don't take this the wrong way, but it's the only way I can think of it, okay? The terrorists from 9/11, they didn't think they were doing anything wrong. I hate every one of them to the bone. to the bone. But they think they're heroes. You go to their countries, they're martyrs, they're heroes. They didn't know any better. They didn't know what they were doing was wrong. They thought they were absolutely right. Well, some people on YouTube operate under those same circumstances, in my eyes, anyways. All right, so what's the right to reasonable expectation of privacy? Here's that word reasonable again, right? Right? People have reasonable expectation of privacy in their own person, their house, their vehicles, and business offices. They also have a reasonable expectation of privacy in their personal communications, such as telephone calls, letters, and journals. That's why you have to have search warrants to do wiretaps and the such. The reason I'm mentioning this, that if any of those phone numbers that came up, if there is even geofencing or fog reveal, whatever they're calling it, however they got that information, hey, Mother of Dragons, however they got that information, if I missed anybody, I apologize. I've been trying to focus on this. But if anybody that's in their vehicle, you're skating around that Fourth Amendment. You're violating their rights. So you have to be very, very careful of that. Law enforcement knows this. Okay, overlays. And they're not stupid. Not stupid. I've got some more on that, on privacy. Okay, privacy violations include gathering information on individuals engaged in constitutionally protected activities. Improperly accessing or sharing a subject's information or sharing a subject's record without a valid law enforcement purpose. So if it's not direct evidence, they have to be careful. They have to be very careful. Otherwise, it'll get tossed out. And nobody wants that. Nobody wants any of their evidence tossed out. Trust me. And I think I have one more on the privacy issue. Let me bring this down a little bit. It is unconstitutional under the Fourth Amendment to conduct a search and seizure without a warrant anywhere that a person has reasonable expectation of privacy, unless certain expectations apply. And there's not many. There's not many. We have these rights for a reason. You know, our forefathers weren't stupid. They're protecting us. Almost 300 years later, we're still using what they wrote down, which is amazing, to me anyway. All right, let's see if I have anything else here. Okay, here's something else I want to address. One of the people on the witness list, Terry, this Terry Williams, people have accused her of being somebody that she's not, being a YouTuber called Secret Keeper, a YouTuber or a Discord. She goes in Discord or whatever. She communicates with people. This person does as Secret Keeper. Well, this person has openly said, I am not Secret Keeper, but I wondered who was. I think defense is reaching by trying to pull some of us into court. Now, how silly would that be? If they say, hey, Laura, if they say that she is Secret Keeper when she indeed is not, and they can't prove it, and if they're going on what some YouTubers tell, I mean, we're right back to that reasonable person shit, if you ask me. Right back to it. And she even went in and asked in a Facebook group, anyone here ever heard of someone called Secret Keeper? Now, the only place I've seen that Secret Keeper was in a screenshot from a Discord with Paul Minion, fuck around and find out, something to that effect. That's the only place I've ever seen that name. I'm not familiar with who Secret Keeper is. So I have no idea, but I know people have been asking, and they're trying to find out who that person is, you know. So it's just it's crazy what people say and do. What's up, Noe? Are you gonna be there tomorrow doing sketches? All right, let me see. Let me see if there's any questions. But some of this stuff, to me, it's obvious. You know, it just is. It's the way it's supposed to be. But if you're not familiar with the procedures in law enforcement and stuff like that, I don't expect you to understand it. So I try and bring some understanding to you. So we don't know. I only go with what law enforcement puts out or the prosecution puts out. That's the only stuff that I will say, okay, yes, that's evidence. Whether it's true or not, we'll find out. But if they put it out, I know that that's evidence in the case and the discovery. The defense's job is to just get everybody all worked up, Hey, She Warrior. Get everybody all worked up and try and deflect and smoke and mirrors and sleight of hand. And let me see. Why do they go to that much trouble if they are going to plead? Maybe they don't like the deal they were offered, Imitation Crab. And it's not trouble. I mean, I've even heard Bob Motta say these words, that that new counsel that was put in when Rozzi and Baldwin withdrew, the new counsel that was put in, Bob said, man, I know those guys want to stay on the case because this is a huge case. This is like a career-making case, so I don't think of shit like that, but I'm not a defense attorney, but I don't think like that. This isn't a career-defining anything to me. This is two little girls that were brutally murdered, and we're finally getting to the meat and potatoes of everything. We get, if we get this trial, I'll be surprised if we do. I'll be surprised if it's this year, to be honest with you. The prosecution is going to put it off, and they can do it, but it's not going to be this year. I can't see it. They're playing too many games right now. They're worried about being put in jail at this point, so they're not really focusing on defending their client, even though they hired Mr. Hennessy, who either purposely misspelled my name or doesn't know how to spell or didn't proofread. Who knows? People call him the lead pipe. I call him the hash pipe. That guy's smoking hash or something. He can't even get spelling right on somebody. Cecil Cooper's super chat. Cecil Hotel super chat, $5. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. You rock. Amelia, love you, Ruckus. Thanks for covering these docs and simplifying them. I have to because I'm dumb. I'm dumb as a box of rocks. Proton me. Miranda, we only do when everyone wants to leave another YouTuber's chat. Okay, I missed out on that conversation. It's hard to keep up. Now, when I'm in the chat on somebody else's channel, it's easy to keep up. I spell better on hash, just saying. Well, lead pipe, hash pipe, just, it's a joke. But could you imagine if they call Fig Solves to testify? I know they won't. But could you imagine if they did? I know they wouldn't call me either. Here's the thing. If you've been deposed before and you've been examined, direct examined and cross-examined, you know the ropes already. There's really not much that they could do that would surprise me or piss me off or anything. I know what their job is, I know what their job is. People that haven't been through that before. That's why I'm saying these YouTubers who got their name tossed in the hat, and now they're on this as a witness. I don't think they're going to fly them in to testify, but if they did, they're in for a shock when they get cross-examined. There's nobody that can save you. Now, the defense can go and redirect. So anything you slip up on, they can try and save it. But it's already too late. It's already too late. But I can't see there being a hope. There's not going to be a jury here for all this shit. This is just the judge, you know? Hi, Charlotte. This is just the judge. So it's going to be something else. Sidebar, Fig rocks. He does. He does. Figsthebomb.com. Let me see. Scrolling up. Here we go. Brian Emery, how are you, sir? Do you think the defense is calling all these YouTubers to try and turn the tables on them and blame them for the original leak? The original leak doesn't matter. They keep talking about, oh, the original leak happened right after the crime. Searchers, leaked information. And law enforcement leaked information to the media and stuff like that. That's not what we're dealing with here. That's not what we're talking about here. Tomorrow is going to be all about their leak, not everybody else's leak. Without using a voice like some people would, like, oh, I don't do that. Without using a voice, this is just them saying, well, they did it. Why can't we do it? Why are you looking at us? They did it, I'm sorry, I was talking, bossy. Let me go back and get that one. A deposition is a sworn statement taken by somebody so that they do not have to appear in court. The lawyers from each side then hash out the depositions in front of a judge to decide what's admissible. I've been deposed and been on the stand in the same case. I can't wait for this case to be over so I don't have to hear certain phrases like fuck around and find out ever again. Yeah. I know, man. FAFO, however it is they say. Yeah, it's got to be FAFO. Some of it, if YouTubers, including me, think that you're important enough in this case, you're wrong. You're wrong. None of this has anything to do with the case. Hey, little one, this whole bullshit, this whole fiasco is over the leaks and the conduct of the defense and the prosecution to some extent. That's why I say I hate all this attorney bullshit. Let's get to the evidence. Let's get to what law enforcement did. Or receipts. I'm sick of that too. Gladys, you have no idea. My phone is set up to delete everything in 30 days. Texts, voicemails, everything. I don't keep anything. I don't have to prove shit to anybody, ever. What's up, Frosty? Never, ever. So I don't keep receipts. I'm not like that. I don't do the whole receipts thing. I just I'm not with it. I really don't care what you have. I don't care what you think you have. It's too much shit. It's too much shit that can be faked and put out there. Some people put shit out there for nefarious reasons, doxing people and stuff like that. For what? For what? I mean, who cares what our opinions are? I'm here because I'm a ham. I like this shit. That's why I was in bands and shit like that. I like being the center of attention, and I don't mind being the protagonist. But Jesus Christ, man, putting out my name and where I live and, all that shit, give me a break, man. I was a deputy in the same county that I lived in. I bumped into rapists, killers, felony batteries, domestic batteries, drug dealers, drug takers, you name it. Oh, I don't know who got deposed in this. What's up, Ashley? I just sold another car. I don't know who got deposed in this at all. See, Gail heard. I think defense asked for a speedy trial to help them not to be kicked off the case. Yeah, absolutely. They're trying to do anything they can. Now, here's my opinion. I still think he's going to plead out. I think the offer that they gave him, hey, mama, how you doing, cuz? Happy St. Patty's Day. I think that they just don't like the deal that they've been given. And they want to spend, like Bob said, they want to get as much time on this case under their belt as they can. Um, I can't see this. It's not going to go to trial this year. Getting involved in so much drama, men seem to be the worst. Snay, for example. Men are just as bad as women. We're pigs. That's the difference. And Kyra, again, they didn't put what you do for work, right? It's crazy. The kind of shit that they're pulling. And I'd be saying that if it was you, Kyra, if they put down that you were prior law enforcement and not what I did, if I did something different and everybody else, what are they trying to do? Who are they trying to sway here? The judge doesn't give a shit about all that. And her not saying anything outside of the decorum, that cracks me up. That cracks me up. True crime fangirl, how are you? That's why I think Gull should have made this contempt case is in case separate from Allen. Yeah, I agree. I agree. But we all know. I mean, I hope you guys know. Whenever you see something from Richard Allen to the court where he wants this and he wants that, that's not him. That's his attorneys. So he doesn't want any of this. His attorneys just got to file his name on it so that they get it on the docket. Yeah, I'll sleep like a baby, Frank. I'm up every morning at 5:30 latest. Anyway, so I'll be ready to go. But it's going to be interesting tomorrow, if nothing else. Yeah, hey Laura, might as well pull an all nighter. Absolutely, absolutely. All right, here we go. Sees through. Ruckus Rocks. What would he benefit from a plea? Do you mean like he might get to choose a prison near home, etc., or just get out of telling what happened that day? There's several reasons. There's many reasons. He could not get a plea deal. Um, he may change his plea to guilty. There's not just plea deals. He can change his plea whenever he wants. So never anyone's families, even though they did mine. That's the difference, by the way, between me and them. A man's got to have a code. I agree. Well, you're a firefighter, so you have a good moral compass. Just my opinion. Just my opinion. Firefighters have a way better moral compass than law enforcement do. But firefighters, although you deal with a lot of shitheads, I know. I've been around. Not as many as we did. Not as many as we did. But yes, please, if you guys could hit the like button for me, that would be marvelous. Get this guy to shoot at you again. But that's my take on it. The geofencing, we don't know if it's even there or not. The defense even admits that. The whole thing with who's doing what to who and all that, I'm not getting involved with all that. I just think it's bullshit that there's over 400,000 pretrial detainees in this country, and people are picking this particular case to protest. And I'm here to tell you, I know that most of you guys see this. It's not hard to see. This is due process. We're watching due process happen right in front of our eyes. This is not, he's not getting hornswoggled. He's being detained, which he should be. He's charged with a very, very horrible crime. And if he didn't do it, which I believe he did, but if he didn't do it, then we'll see what happens. They're going to have to come up with some better evidence than they have so far, Hey, Todd. Do you believe the totality of the evidence is overwhelming and beyond reasonable? Absolutely. Absolutely. There's no doubt in my mind. I stand by everything that I've said, right up to and including that he's going to take a plea deal. The only thing I'm changing on that is he may change his plea because he's fucked. He's fucked. We're just, the shit that the prosecution has put out is solid. The stuff that the defense team is putting out is stupid. It's stupid. It's ridiculous what they're putting out. They need to just stop. Why would they be concerned about Richard Allen's mental health? And if they are going to use the third person, somebody else did it. Focus on that. Stop all this other bullshit. I'm reserving judgment. Ari, guilt versus innocence. I'll admit I'm uncomfortable with prosecution thus far, but we'll wait to see where things go. Yeah, he's never tried a case like this before. This may even be his first murder case, if I'm not mistaken. So he's in over his head. There's no doubt about that. And if these attorneys, I really haven't looked them up. I don't know. True crime fangirl. I don't know what she plans to do with that. Off topic, Ruckus, but have been wanting to ask if there's no video of Doolin's initial interview with RA, aren't those notes Doolin made still admissible in court? Yeah, that doesn't have to be video. But it wasn't Doolin, it was Skinner. I'm here to tell you. Could be wrong. I've been wrong before, but Abby and Libby's family waited 5+ years for an arrest, so if you're not supporting them, I don't see how you're supporting justice. Well, here's another thing, too. For all these people that are saying that, oh, they're dumping all of this evidence on them, all this discovery, right? Well, they're saying that they want evidence that could have, quote unquote, been exculpatory. Well, the prosecution's given them, 7 years worth of evidence? That's going to be a lot because they have to include everything. Hey, Curtis, can Allen take an Alford plea, no contest, and not have to plead, but say the state has enough to convict? He can if the judge allows it. I doubt she will. But yes, he can. He can do that. There's always a first murder case. Yeah, absolutely. But, what did they expect? When they got assigned this case, right, which they did, they got assigned this case. They offered to go pro bono after all that bullshit when they resigned. I wish the judge called their fucking bluff on that and said, okay, sure, you can go pro bono. They'd be fucking bankrupt already. They'd be bankrupt already. They'd be out of business. I skipped True Crime Fangirl's question. Oh boy. Let me scroll up here. I thought I just got it. Maybe there's another one. I only see this one. Will YouTubers' letters be read in court or dismissed? I don't know what they're gonna do with that. The judge just has to see him. She's looking at all the evidence. She's already seen everything already. So she's looking at all of that stuff. So, all right, guys, we're coming up on an hour. So I get tired pretty quick. And you guys got lucky. You didn't have to look at my mug tonight. I want to thank Cecil Hotel again for the super chat. I appreciate that. That's awesome. Any help is appreciated. I don't do this for a living, and I don't consider this work. That pisses me off when I hear other YouTubers say that they're working hard on this case. And that, no, even when I'm on the road with Steve, I'm not working hard, except going up and down the freaking hills. Hey, Teresa, how are you? Except when I'm going up and down the hills, that's the only work I'm doing. But I got Steve to carry most of my stuff. The state should give Nick additional help. The case has years of evidence. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. The defense attorneys are bitching that they got all this evidence. Well, of course they got all this evidence. Well, now they're bitching. They're picking and choosing. And they're saying, well, you don't have this evidence. And it could be exculpatory. Well, make your mind up. Which way do you want it? Just shut up and defend your client. Stop with all this litigation bullshit that has nothing to do with this case. Tomorrow has zero to do with this case. I don't care if they're on the case, if they get fired. I don't care if they replace the judge and the prosecutor. The evidence is there. It'll stand on its own. And it's there. It's not going anywhere. I could deliver it, for Christ's sake. 63 clocks. Thank you, Ruckus Moggs. Yes, I appreciate everything. And I'm going to be running Frank's live tomorrow on my channel as well. Amelia Lavender, Super Sticker, $10. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Let me see if I can get the money dropping. I haven't done that. See if that's going to work tonight. Nothing else is working. Yeah, there we go. All right. Let me see. Just finish this up here. But I appreciate that. I really do. You're awesome. But this is not work. Anybody that says it is, that they're dedicating all their time. Listen, I'm retired. I could do this all day, and it's still not work. It's interesting. Those that beg for money, especially if their channel gets shut down for a week, get a real job or do ethical things so you don't get struck down. It's not that hard. I don't understand. I'm 60 now. This whole social thing. I don't know how this shit all plays out. I'm not used to it. I'm used to talking to people, But we'll see. Tomorrow will be interesting. And like I said, I don't care who they kick off this case. The evidence is already turned in. Law enforcement has done their job. So whether you like law enforcement or not, that's up to you. Trust me, I've dealt with people that don't like law enforcement my whole career, every day. Humanimal, if you actually analyze the PCA and actually spend time considering what is true and what cannot be true, it's beyond overwhelming. All alt theories are easy to dispel. Absolutely. There's tons of probable cause in there. There's plenty of probable cause. There's plenty of probable cause for that search warrant. But I expect the defense to fight that. That's what they're supposed to do. But enough already. Enough. This Frank's hearing is bullshit. It's a bunch of bullshit. They cannot prove that anybody lied to the judge. They even said that. They've said it numerous times that they can't prove. So they're just doing it for optics. That's all they're doing. So everybody out there that want to know who Terry Williams was, I will tell you who she is not. She is not secret keeper, according to her, straight from her mouth. And somebody please throw Teresa's link up there if you haven't already. Usually my mods are pretty good, pretty quick with that. And I appreciate that. You guys are all awesome. The next time I come out there, when I see you guys, I'll buy you dinner. I promise. Jinx actually has a Boss Mod shirt. So does Purdue RN. But I haven't seen her for a while. I hope everything's well with her. I appreciate LE. Copfax really did predict this scenario 2 years ago. Yeah, he's seen it. So, yeah, Teresa, I'm afraid to go in your chat anymore. To be honest with you, I love you to death and I respect you to death, but there's just too many people in there that do not care for me or my opinions. And that's okay. I'm not blaming you. That's okay. I can watch the replay and or just lurk. I lurk all the time. But I'm not blaming you or your mods. You have a big channel. You got over 10,000 subs, I think. Yeah, I hear you. And I feel you. I feel you. As a fellow YouTuber, I don't consider myself a creator or anything like that. I'm just a guy on YouTube. But I feel you. It's hard to keep up sometime and present. You can either have monologue where you give information or dialogue where you talk to people. You can't have both. It's too hard. But that's it for me tonight, guys. Tomorrow I will start my live once we get some information from Frank. He's going to be inside the courthouse. So I will simulcast his live and hope he doesn't strike me on my channel, so that some people that are my subscribers or know who I am may not know who he is. Hi, Yankee Ghost. So just want to spread the love, and Kimosabi. I am smart, and it's SMAHT, smart. Take the R out, no R, and put an H. But I will catch you guys later. I appreciate you hanging out there with me for a little while. You guys are awesome. Thank you to all the mods. And don't take any wooden nickels, kids. My name is Ruckus. Thanks for hanging out. Please like, subscribe, and share. I'm 10-7.